Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Layzer and welcome back to Automation. So today is a special video because I have partnered up with Russo Tusso, who also makes automation videos. And we challenged each other, and our first challenge is basically to make an early 90s Japanese icon. Now, the clause is that we can make any type of car we want. So it could be a coupe, it could be a sports car, it could be a family car, and we basically want to know. So this is my video. I will leave a link to his video in the description. Feel free to check him out, subscribe to him if you enjoy automation content, and yeah, let's get started. Also, please consider subscribing because it would mean a lot to me. So, as for the body, I was originally going to go with the RX-7 body, but at the same time it would be too mainstream. So I'm going with this body. It's a bit more blocky, but I think I can make it work. So, as you can see, our year is going to be 1991. I'm not going to name the car just yet because I think I'll do that last. For now, I just kind of want to get done with the non-important stuff. So like for example, we are gonna go for partial aluminum panels, potentially a space frame chassis, because why the heck not? And then galvanized steel as for the chassis material. Probably a longitudinal engine block and McPherson's in the front and a double wishbone on the rear. Yeah, that sounds fine. As for the engine, I mean, well, I could go for an inline 4, an inline 6, a V6, maybe a V8 if I want to push things. I feel like I'm gonna go for an inline 6, because I kind of want to give this car some super vibes, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna go for a cast iron block inline 6. As for capacity, I think I'm gonna make it like 2.9 liters. Yeah, 2.9. And then dual word cam 4 valves with an aluminium head material. It depends on how you want to call it. I'm gonna go for forged internals because I want this engine to handle quite a bit of tuning in the future. And being an icon, it sort of has to. I'm gonna give it VVT, and for starting off, I'm gonna give it like 65 cam profile and a 9.5 compression ratio. Um, Yeah, we are gonna turbo this thing because why the heck not? And then give it like a 500 horsepower intercooler and the performance preset for now. We're gonna give it injection. I think I'll give it single injection with a performance intake because I think it looks hella cool and it's probably gonna run a regular fuel unless we want to give it premium, which I won't do for now. And a 45 ignition timing and then probably a 7,000 RPM red line. High flow freeway catalytic converter and those straight through mufflers for now. Okay, so right off the bat, our engine is knocking, which is, I don't know why, but I can't start off an engine without actually giving it like no knock. I just can't. So I'm just gonna lower the ignition timing a tiny bit. Perhaps give it a bit more cam profile and lower the compression ratio to 9. Yeah, that did the trick. So okay, our exhaust is restricting us quite a bit, which is not a nice sight, but I suppose we can fix it. Um, I think we can get away with having a bit smaller compressor and a bit better AR ratio. And I mean, 300 horsepower is like plenty for the time. Um, yeah, I don't think much of our components are actually holding us back, so what I could do is actually make it rev a bit higher, but car rods wouldn't like that, so I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, 330 horsepower is plenty, I think. I could give it 5 valves per cylinder, which I will do because I know Japanese cars at the time were trying to be as innovative as possible, and I think this is how I'm gonna do that. So with that, we have 340 horsepower, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to get much more out of it. So 340 horsepower it is. That's a healthy number actually for a 90s Japanese car. Obviously, cars like the Supra and the Skyline had, I believe, around 300. I could be wrong, but I don't remember currently. I'm gonna paint this red just because, yes, and then give it a 90s space age valve cover design because it looks cool in my opinion. And then let's just give it, a small sound test like always. So strap on your headphones. Yeah, it sounds good, It's nothing too crazy, but at the same time, it just sounds like what a Japanese inline six should sound like. As for the design, I'm gonna go for a coupe body. I can't stand this. Like, I don't want it to be a five door or a four door. Well, it depends on what country you live in. In my country, we just call it five doors because of the boot, but we don't talk about boots in this channel, so I'm just gonna give it a small, body molding or morphing because I think I could make it look a bit more Japanese-esque. So I'm just gonna do that, and hopefully I'll be done in just a bit. Yeah, that's actually the car done, so yeah, this is gonna be the general design. I'm quite happy with it. As always, I'm gonna leave fixtures for later. I kind of want to go all-wheel drive, but for now I'm just gonna stick to rear-wheel drive and give it a manual 5-speed. Top speed is 300 kilometers per hour, which is quite a lot. I will probably limit it to like 250, which is like about 155 miles an hour. Because that's like, plenty enough for Japanese cars at the time. And I'll give it a viscous slip diff because I'm cool. As for the tires, I'm gonna give it medium compounds, I think, and then 205s in the front and 245s in the rear. Those are kind of small, especially at the front, but I mean, it's not a lot of power, so at the same time, I think it will still grip down pretty well. I'm gonna give it 17 inches alloys and the 680 millimeter tires. Yeah, that sounds good. And then as for the brakes, I'm gonna give it vented discs at the front and solid discs at the rear. And make them, pretty large because why the heck not? Who doesn't love large brakes on cars? I mean, they just give a good sight and yeah. Um, Fully flat on the tray with a small brake airflow and a bit of cooling airflow because some of my cars, which I have done, while not recording, they have overheating issues, so yeah, I'm gonna give it a bit more cooling than usual. It is gonna be a four-seater, and it's gonna have a premium interior with a standard cassette as for the entertainment. It's gonna have hydraulic power steering with traction control and ABS, and it's gonna have a standard 80s safety. As for the springs, I mean, I could go hydro pneumatic and make it interesting, but at the same time, I just don't think it's worth the $800 because if I recall correctly, we agreed on having a $40,000 budget, which I'm actually only at $30,000, so I may as well give it hydro pneumatic springs, and then I could go back change this to double wishbone, this to monocoque, and give this corrosion resistant steel, and probably have a multi-link at the rear. And I believe that unlocks air suspension. Yeah, it does. So I'm gonna give it air suspension, because why the heck not? Give it a normal preset, and I think the car is quite high, so I'm gonna lower it just a tiny bit. And yeah, that looks good. This is probably the general car already. So yeah, I'm still almost just over $30,000. So I technically have like 10,000 to mess around with. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it a gear limited slip diff and all-wheel drive. I mean, it just basically makes the car worse in every aspect. So I'm not gonna do that because, you know, rear-wheel drive is where it's at right now. Give it sport compound tires. I could go magnesium wheels, but that's just sort of unrealistic. Like, I want this car to be semi-realistic because at the end of the day, it's, you know, not a supercar and it's still just an everyday Japanese car. So I could give it variable hydraulic power steering, which I will do. And if I go advanced safety, it's gonna increase my weight, but at the same time, I don't really care. And it's innovative at the time, so sure. And now we are sitting at $33,400, which is fine by me, because that's plenty. I think I'm also gonna go for aluminum panel materials, and that's basically gonna be the car done, because I don't think I can make the car much better. I can make it drive to 7,500 now, but that's like borderline everything I can do to make it even more expensive. So yeah, $38,000, and that's gonna be your budget for this car. So basically, you could go up to your dealer and get it for probably just over $40,000, because you know, taxes and all that kind of shit. But you know, we don't talk about that. So yeah, that's the car done. I am now going to design it, which I will speedrun because I still suck at designing cars and I don't want to keep you too long. I don't want this video to be half an hour long. So yeah, see you once I design the car. I don't know why, but eh, this mirror alignment just looks hella weird to me. Yeah, it just looks weird. I'm not gonna keep it. What the heck is happening? Holy Jesus. There we go. Finally found something good for the mirrors. Gosh. So the car is done. It's called the Acre XS1, which stands for Experimental Sports Car 1. So despite having four seats, this is like a full-on sports car, because why not? It's powered by the in-house Acre Inline 6 Turbo, and yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's the car done. Um, I am not going to test it in BeamNG because I want to test both cars in one video and just compare them as to how they perform, how they feel and all that. So hopefully that video will come out soon, and if not, then I guess, I don't know, we'll have to see. But yeah, thanks for Russo Tusso for partnering up with me for this challenge, and hopefully I'll see his car soon, because I know he makes some pretty good cars. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in a testing video.